morning or evening or afternoon, wherever you are. This is Cindy and welcome to the Tireless Tangler. We have a great tutorial for you today, or rather I do. I am going to try something new. It is early on Sunday morning, and so we are going to try this, except for the small plane taking off from the airport near here. We're going to try this early in the morning before the neighbors all get up and start making noise and getting the dogs barking. So hopefully this will work. We also have the sun coming up in the east right over my left shoulder, so we'll have a little shadow, but it should be the kind that works out for a right-handed person. Okay, this, if I can do this, this is our project for the day. This is a Celtic knot, the Triquetra, that we did the tutorial on last week. If you haven't seen that tutorial, I highly recommend you watch that first so you're not too confused by what we're doing. This is the Triquetra knot set up in a circle for a Zendala. This one is done on a Zendala tile. And we will use a white charcoal pencil by General. I will be using a number 10 jelly roll by Sakura of Japan, and the Sakura jelly roll in Metalic Gold, and I will also use their yellow Stardust glitter pen. So let's get started. The way to start is you put your charcoal pencil into your compass. You can do it with a white, wow, I'm not going to do well with the talking today, I can already tell. You can also use a white colored pencil, but you can't erase those if you make mistakes. So, let's see. Okay. Let's move it down just a little bit. All I'm doing is sort of getting an idea of where my midpoint is in relation to out there. Yeah, this is it. So this is a good center point right there, not those. Okay. So the reason your center point becomes important is later when we divide this into pie shapes. There, not bad. Wow, this may be the first time I've ever gotten something right the first go. All right, so get your pencil, your white pencil, and a straight edge. It doesn't have to be a ruler. I try not to use rulers except for straight edges. So this one is the one we used for the midpoint. So it doesn't matter where you start with this. Just bisect it and then try to get completely, divide that part in half. How about that? Don't ask me for math terms, they aren't coming from me. Now, you can measure this and make it perfect. I don't bother with that. It's a lot of trouble that I don't care about. And you can eyeball this fairly easily, even easier if you have one of these transparent ruler thingies. So, you're going to want to divide your pie in, is that 8 pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yes. So, this is going to be your basis for the project today. Now, if you remember last week when we were learning how to do Triquetra Celtic knots, the way that we start these is by using a pencil, and you start in your square, or in your triangle, and you start at the top point. You draw down to about the midpoint, then you start to curve your line. It's not a very good curve on my part, but you get the idea. And then you follow that in, and then you do your other 2 corners right to midpoint. Follow it up, and then up to midpoint, and over and down. So this is your basic Triquetra form. And let's go ahead and put in the, well, if I can get it going. I have a bad habit of using my hand to start pens. It's a really effective method, but you walk around looking like an idiot most of the time. Okay, so this is a little bit off, but we'll fix that when we ink it. So if you'll remember, we start with a rounded side triangle, and the reason I use the Jelly Roll 10 for this is this. It just flows on and is so lovely to work with. It's just so wonderful. Okay, so the first step is to start at the bottom point, bring the line up to the midpoint of that side on the triangle, then turn and do the same thing for each of the other two sides. I know my easel makes a little noise. I hope you can bear with it. It's very nice. Okay, the next step is to use this line as a barrier. So we start at the point, follow the line down, and this time hopefully make it nice and round, and stop at the line, and then start at the point, down to that line, start at the point, and there we have it. So you're back up at the top again. You're going to want to fill in the rest of this outer shape. So I always start with this one. You can start where you want and finish that outside line. Then, oops, well, okay. There. And there. Now we just finish up the end. And I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I should not have done that. Yes, I should have. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, maybe not. Maybe it's just me, but you might be asking yourself why I'm not using the gold gel pen here, because clearly that's where we go in this project, is with the metallic gold gel pen. I found, especially when working on the actual Zentangle tiles, and of which this Zendala is one, that the jelly roll, because the surface is so porous, the jelly rolls tend to absorb. And I had trouble with coverage on the gold metallic, and found that if I put a layer of white down first, like this, and then after this dries, go over it with the jelly roll, with the gold metallic, then it has a nicer surface to sit on for some reason. You could also do this step with colored pencil, white colored pencil, and that would work fine. Okay, so we have one done, and I'm going to wait to get rid of to fill in the side lines until after we finish all the way around. So I'm going to get started and follow along with me. I may talk to myself, I may talk to you, you may turn me down. Just whatever makes your Sunday morning better. Oh, drawing straight makes mine. All right, midpoint and over. Now, I don't know if it'll confuse you, but I'm going to go ahead and pencil the rest of this in now, so that I have a form to work with. I felt like with the running border, maybe penciling that whole thing in may have been confusing to some people, but it's my OCD. I just like it better when I do it in stages and all together. So, and remember, these don't have to be perfect. Remember, when I made this sort of yucky line right here, we fixed it when we inked, so it's not a big deal. We also have some crows or grackles or something here that like to make lots of clicking noises really loudly. It's a kind of bird. And Simba is very frisky, so he's going to want me to stop and throw his toy. I'll try not to do that too much. All right. Just a minute, Simba. You're making my lines crazy, boy. All right, here you go. Ready? Fetch it. He's looking at me like, what are you doing? Say, mornings are our time. Say, afternoons are when you work. I know, Simba. I know. I'm disappointed too. Oops. I got ahead of myself there. Now, another way you could do this to keep your lines more consistent would be to make the same stroke on each triangle, and then go back and do your next stroke on each triangle. And actually, that is a pretty comfortable way to do it, so we might try that. And isn't it interesting, the pretty design this makes? I have been thinking this week about taking one of these designs as a string and using it to tangle inside of. I thought it would be a very interesting experiment to see what that looked like when I got done. Okay, let's finish inking this, and we'll get on to the pretty stuff. Now, careful, I'm going to sing to you this morning. I will try very hard not to. There we go. This is actually extremely zenful for me. especially when we repeat the steps this way. You can stop worrying about what comes next and just lose yourself in the repetition. And that is a very Zentangle philosophy. Now, I will reiterate, I am not a CCT, a certified Zentangle teacher, even though that is my goal for someday. I very much believe in the philosophy of the method. Okay, so there's our middle triangle, then pick one and get started. All right. Now remember, this is not meant to be exact. I like the freehand quality of these. I think it gives the art character. Well, that was messy. It's okay though. And you will see these happen all sorts of ways here. And not all of them good. But when you finish, the product as a whole is so lovely that all of the, as you see them, imperfections will fade away. Just follow the steps and repeat. Up to the midway point, down to the midway point, over to the midway point. See how much smaller this one is? It doesn't matter. Down to the midway point. Ooh, that was not pretty. And over to the midway point-ish. Okay. Okay, and we have our second row, or pass. So start up at your point. Follow that line down, make it a pretty one. Do your next one. And the next one. Okay, just going to do this like this. Oops, I forgot one, didn't I? Alright, let's finish this. Okay. I forgot two on that last one, didn't I? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. See? I should have done one step at a time. I got lost. Okay, let's finish. Let's go back here. And where were we? Okay, this is where we are. Let's finish this. Make sure we've got it all before we move on. So, oh, I skipped to the last step. That's all right. Okay, well, we should go ahead and finish at this point. Once you start with all the lines that you've got in there, I can see how it might get confusing. Clearly, it just confused me. So, and there is repetition in this part too, as you repeat once on each side, each move. I'm going to have to buy new jelly rolls. I have been using them like crazy lately. Oops. Here we go. And once again, I'm sorry about the noise on the easel. I hope that it won't be too distracting. If it is, I'll try not to use it anymore. Let me know in comments if you feel it is. It makes tangling or drawing so nice because it turns your work towards you in each instant, instead of you having to turn your arm at odd angles. What did I do here? Okay, this goes up, that's why. And that ended up being extremely... Let's fix this. I need to stop wiggling around and focus here. So much for the Zen, huh? Okay, this... The next one we'll get back to the right order. Should never have gone out on my own there. Should have listened to myself, step by step. Okay, this needs to be fixed right here. There, that'll work. By the time we add the gold jelly roll, that will be a distant memory. So remember, this doesn't have to be perfect with the white, unless you like it really well when you get done with it, and you want to leave it white, which of course is absolutely fine. The thing I'm learning is that there is no right or wrong in art. It's all about what you want to do and what you think is awesome, because 9 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody that agrees with you out there. There'll always be people that disagree, but okay, Cindy, don't get ahead of yourself. Start from the top, follow the line down to the barrier, top of the triangle, or top of the point, down to the barrier, top of the point, down to the barrier, and finish your sides, and finish your sides. Oops, that was the wrong thing. And finish your sides. As you finish off each corner, you want to see if you can match it with the corner next to it, like here. That's what your goal is. Not necessarily to be perfect, but that's the goal. Okay. We are going to have a hot day today, I can tell. We have been cold and rainy and in the 40s Fahrenheit, which is pretty cold for April, the end of April. But it seems to have woken up around here and gotten warm. We had a late freeze this year. Okay. All right. Got all that. Okay, didn't forget anything, yay. Alright. The corner to the middle point, to the barrier, and the corner to the barrier. And now barrier to the corner. Inside. Corner to the barrier, corner to the barrier, excuse me, and corner to the barrier, okay, now finish out the outline. Sunday is Pilot's Day, I think. There is a small airport very near here. For those of you that do miles, less than a mile from here, and so Sunday mornings is a popular time for people to get their planes and go fly. So apparently we're going to be getting some of that this morning. Okay. Well, no mistakes, only opportunities, huh? There is actually a way to fix that. It will not be too awful. And we'll just go over it with a little black pen when we get done. Hope I didn't just mess it up again. I am really not zenning this morning. Hey everyone, I had to stop the video. Unfortunately, the iPad overheated. So the only thing you really missed besides me inking some of the middle parts is that I very gently erased the guidelines that we drew in with white charcoal. Now I'm starting with the Metallic Gold gel pen. If I can get it arranged right. And I went ahead and speeded this part up. I didn't think you wanted an hour-long video, so I think this will be faster and you certainly will get the idea. Now, it's like I told you earlier, it is possible for you to do the white parts with white colored pencil and then do the metallic gold over it. I just found that the metallic gold really does need something to sit on in order for it to look nice.
start up love, start a better way. You'll be alright, 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 okay, okay, okay. I'll be okay, alright, 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 right. Okay,
And there you have it. Now, let me show you the difference between this and the one I did with the glitter pen over. The yellow glitter pen is made by Sakura, and what's special about these is that they use ground glass in the pens instead of glitter in the ink. So when you put it on there, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it gives it a really beautiful sheen, and it yellows the gold up just a little bit and gives it a little bit of extra shine and definition on the tile. On the tile I did last week, I had a little extra room to embellish the outer edges, so I just put a few dots and filled in the spaces a bit. You can leave it as is, you can add what I did, make it your own. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you next time on the Tireless Tangler.